Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for stopping by. I want to do another video here. I want to talk about some of the spirituality that we should be seeking, and it's not what they have handed us. There's some truth in things that they have handed us, but when researching something of this matter and understanding the people and the ruthlessness that we're dealing with, they will go to every length to lie and twist and mistranslate books. So we have to go to all kinds of sources and trust in ourselves to disseminate truth. And when you start doing that and you start reflecting within yourself, which is every now and then, it's just like prayer. Prayer is a very poor word, or there's a poor understanding of that word. It's more like a meditation, but it's whatever's comfortable to you, not the next packaged thing that's out there, new age or whatever, that's packaged nicely for you. It's more like looking into yourself, coming clean with yourself, recognizing your dark side. That's more of repentance. You cannot know our Creator unless you're in touch with yourself. How can you know our Creator and not know yourself? Know thyself. And one of the big ways they've been doing this and keeping us in this state of hypnosis is through knowledge. They've hidden and put a twist on a lot of ancient history and knowledge, and we have to start researching this. There's authors out there, there's plenty of people out there now. You can, like, I'm going through Michael Tsarian, but he lists a lot of authors. I'm reading a book by Yuri Lina right now, Archetypes of Deception, which was a reference that he listed. So I'm looking at all this for myself and trying to learn to do it, trust myself. Right here I have a verse from the Gospel of Thomas, which comes from the Gnostic Gospels. Now I know there's a lot of things said about the Gnostic Gospels. Oh, they were plagiarizers or whatever. Read this. Read these things for yourself, and you decide what, if they're, and look at everything objectively. You got to remember, there's people out there that are paid to suppress information, and they can suppress that information verbally and with their titles. The last people I would want to trust are the people who are funded by our government anyway, or any other government for that matter, because it all leads to the same place, which I'll be getting into later. But as I learn and gather the appropriate facts, but we need to look into this stuff. So here's the Gospel of Thomas. Listen to this, please. When you know yourselves, then you will be known, and you will know that you are the sons of the living Father. But if you do not know yourselves, then you are in poverty, and you are poverty. See, with everything they're doing, they're taking us away from our selfhood. Now, I want to show you something another very interesting thing here that many people have talked about. Ralph Ellis, Sigmund Freud, and some others, and that is this individual here, Ahkenaton. You may not know Ahkenaton, but you do know his son, Tutankhamen, or King Tut, Tutankhamen, Tutankhamen. You may know him. A lot of information on this has been suppressed. They go into cultures on the TV shows, History Channel and stuff. The culture, the this, the that, and but what they don't tell you is the story of how he was the first to come up with one of the first, not the first people to institute monotheism, which is the worship of one God. And incidentally, this same individual, eventually, that wasn't really working, and he got exiled out of Egypt. Around the same time that Moses' so-called Exodus occurred. Okay, and consequently, he had a brother named. Or it was either his brother or his father. I've heard his father, but here in this thing it says his elder brother, Crown Prince Thutmose, or Mose. In Hebrew, Moses is Moshe. Thutmose. Okay? So I thought this was very interesting, and it's something for everybody to look into and check out and read up on. Like I said, Sigmund Freud, Ralph Ellis, there's some others. You know, you go to Michael Tessarian's page, .com, look around there, you'll find links. Go to that forum. He has a forum where he just puts links upon links upon links to different resources. And what it was called was Ahkenaton. And let me read you some of this, because there's some interesting facts about this too. It was known before the 5th year of his reign as Amenhotep IV. Okay, this was at the 18th dynasty of Egypt. Why do we only hear about the 18th dynasty? There was, and not the other dynasties. And this was around 1300 to 1334 BC, which and a lot of scholars say that's when the Exodus occurred. So how did these guys not? What's going on there? What is going on there? And then Moses was this one God, the guy who was having everybody worship the one God, and the first time that had ever happened was in Egypt with Ahkenaton. See, centered on, he especially noted for abandoning traditional Egyptian polytheism and introducing worship centered on the Aten, which is sometimes described as monotheistic or henotheistic. An early inscription likens him to the sun as compared to stars, and later official language avoids calling the Aten a god, giving the solar deity a status above mere gods. See? Ahkenaton tried to bring a departure from traditional religion, yet in the end it would not be accepted. See? After his death, traditional religious practice was restored. Okay, see, but it wasn't accepted. That's why he was he had to leave, because he eventually was overthrown. He was. What we have to remember is these people that are running this world they're in this to win this. They'll lie about this, but they'll lie about that. You might say to yourself, they'll lie about anything. They do not care. They do not like you at all. They have their family members, and you're not one of them. You ever wonder why the president walks on the red carpet, which is symbolic for the bloodline, and kneels to the queen? Because they are they're the closest ones to the boss, the Vatican, the royals. They're the closest ones to this quote-unquote hidden hand. So let me see. Okay. Which increases the discovery of the kings of Luxor, of the tomb of King Tutankhamun, who has been proved Ahkenaton's son according to DNA testing. Interesting. There's some other things I want to show you here. Just bear with me. The future Ahkenaton was a younger son of Ahkenaton III and his chief queen, Taye, or whatever. His elder brother, Crown Prince Thutmose, or Thutmosis, having died with both were children. Thus, Akhenaten's early education might have been prepared him for the priesthood like his maternal uncle Anan. And at any rate, in an inscription dating to early reign, he emphasized his familiarity with ancient temple documents. Amenhotep IV succeeded his father. Here's the religious policies. Some recent debate is focused on the extent which Ahkenaten forced his religious reforms on his people. Certainly, as time drew on, he revised names of Aten and other religious languages to increasingly exclude references to other gods. Following Akhenaten's death, change was gradual at first. Within a decade, comprehensive political, religious, and artistic reformation began promoting a return of Egyptian life to the norms, and it had followed during his father's reign. Much of the art and building infrastructure created during Akhenaten's reign was defaced and destroyed in a period following his death. See, something's going on there as well, because see, when Ahkenaten and his gang left, whoever they were not happy. So these guys were running around. They got kicked out of Egypt. Where was around the same time as Moses, but you don't hear about any conflicts or any running into each other or whatever, okay, everybody. So sorry about that. I had to cut off there for a minute. And so here we see the symbolism here. The sun, a lion, body, and half human. Listen to this. Anton's name is also written differently after 9. So these guys were not shy about changing their names. Okay, that's another interesting fact. To emphasize the radicalism of the new regime, which included a ban on images. See that? That was in Egypt, Ahkenaten, a ban on images, with the exception of a rayed solar disk, in which the rays, commonly depicted ending in hands, appeared to represent the unseen spirit of Aten, who by then was evidently considered no merely a sun god, but rather a universal deity. Representations of the Aten were always accompanied with a sort of hieroglyphic footnote, stating that the representation of the sun as all-encompassing creator was to be taken as just that, a representation of something that, by its very nature as sometime transcending creation, cannot be fully or adequately represented by any one part of that creation. So we're being taken for a ride, folks. Being taken for a ride. So you want to go read this? I'll try to remember to leave the link at the bottom. This is just Wikipedia. Now there's some things in here you're gonna have to take with a grain of salt, like they say they throw in their little twist, whoever wrote this here, and just look at everything objectively. Don't believe me, don't believe anybody else. But do more research than just this. Sigmund Freud, go to Michael Tessarian's website, and tons of links and tons of source resources to other authors who then themselves refer to other people too. And then you just keep going along the chain. And you can also read things from people from universities and stuff. They slip up every now and then, but you have to be looking for truth, and trust in yourself. Okay? And this is a whole big write-up on, I'll leave this link too, about El and Yahweh, and how it connects to Egypt and Ahkenaten. Moses may have been a lieutenant of Ahkenaten as well, and not Ahkenaten himself. That's another question mark out there. And what's interesting too is they have also found They got DNA from, I believe it was Tutankhamun or not, Ahkenaten, and the DNA actually said they were Western, um, more of Caucasian. Okay, and you have to think, how did the which goes back to Druidism and goes way back to Ireland, but that's a whole different story. Um, Before jumping to conclusions, I would search it out. Um, so that's basically what I wanted to show today. Well, in this video anyway. I'll make another video because I have some quotes from a book I'm reading, and I want to share that link to this book. If anyone's interested in reading it, it'd be a good start for somebody who's just getting into this whole, oh, I don't like to say conspiracy thing, but the search for the whole search for the truth. Part of it is symbolism, and this book goes through in secret societies and knowing Freemasonry. And the book Architects of Deception by Jury Lena is one of those books that can get you on a track to really understanding what's happening here, and the lies that have been told in the cover-ups, and it's all for a reason. So this is what we need to do spiritually with ourselves, is get to the truth. Knowledge is the power. Knowledge is the power. Revelation, not revolution. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.